Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be upcycling kind of like everyday items that you would find probably around your kitchen, definitely at a thrift store. I had a lot of fun giving these items new life. They actually came from my mom about a month ago. I set them aside and I just had so much fun upcycling these and completely transforming them. So if you're excited, just like I am, then stick around and let's get started on these projects. Okay, for our first project, we are going to be giving this teapot or tea kettle a makeover. Like I said, all of these items came from my mom. She has had these items for years. She had a shelf in her kitchen that she would display these items on, and she told me that I could do whatever I wanted to do with them, and I decided to give a couple of them some makeovers. So for this one, I have used this blue before. It is by Dixie Belle. It is called Antebellum Blue, and I love this color blue. So I thought it would look really pretty on this teapot. So I'm going to give this I think I only end up doing one coat. I can't remember now. It has really good coverage. I may have done two coats. I'm not sure. But I also did the top. Once it thoroughly dried, I did spray it with the Ultra Matte Clear Coat by Rust-Oleum. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to have any issues when I applied this transfer. So I am using the Traditional Pots Transfer by IOD. I picked one of the white transfers from this set, and what I'm going to do, because it's such a curved surface, I end up cutting the transfer into 3 sections to make it easier for me to apply the transfer so I don't get any any pieces that are you know sticking together or anything like that because it is a curved surface. I found this the easiest way for me. And if you haven't done transfers before, they are really easy. Sometimes you need a little bit of elbow grease, but for the most part, they come up really easy. So you just remove the backing and then apply the transfer to your item. And then you take the burnishing tool that it comes with and you just rub or burnish the transfer all over. Doing this just ensures that the transfer is fully adhered to your item that you're applying the transfer to. And once I have this done for all 3 parts of this transfer, then that is done, and I'm going to seal this entire teapot with matte polyacrylic, and I am using the liquid polyacrylic. I'm not going to use a spray to seal it. You can totally use a poly spray to seal your item. I just decided to use the polyacrylic in liquid form for this piece just to ensure that it was going to be sealed really well and I wouldn't get any chips or anything. So that's why I did that. And I did it to the entire teapot so that it has a uniform seal and it's not just over top of the transfer. Now, I was trying to figure out how to style this. It looks really nice as is with just the lid. I did also paint the lid, but it looked really nice as well with some greenery coming out of the top. So I have it staged both ways, and I really like that this could go in your kitchen for decor, or you could use it somewhere else. But I love how this blue just totally transformed this piece. For this project, we're going to give this serving platter or serving tray a makeover. I am not going to do anything with the lid. I'm going to set that aside and I'm just going to focus on the bottom. So I did get this wood round from Hobby Lobby. I believe it is a 10-inch round. I did measure the serving tray before I went to the craft store to make sure I could find the right size. And I am going to have to flip it over so that the bottom side is facing up so that I have enough surface area along the serving tray. So it actually fits perfect and I was super happy. For the serving tray, I decided to paint it white and I'm going to be using Fluff by Dixie Belle. I'm going to give it one really good coat and I'm going to also make sure that I am painting the inside, metal portion of the serving tray as well. So while that's drying, I am going to stain or do a faux stain on this wood round. Now before I am applying the stain to the wood round, I do take it outside and I gave it a really good sand. I don't know about anybody else, but the wood rounds that I get from the craft stores, at least in my area, are in serious need of sanding. Like I don't do anything until I sand these pieces because they're in pretty rough shape. But it's okay. That's why I have a sander. So, like I said, I gave it a good sand and I'm using the Waverly Antique Wax for the faux stain. And I really love the look that this antique wax gives, but it also seals it in so I don't have to use a sealer on top. Once everything is dry, I do let that sit. I think I let it sit overnight just to make sure that, all the wax was dry. And I'm going to attach the wood round to the serving tray using E6000. I did place the round onto the tray just to make sure I noted where the wood round was actually touching the serving tray. So I made sure to get a healthy amount of glue all the way around. And once I have applied the wood round and got it placed how I want it, I'm going to put a lot of heavy pressure on it and let it sit for a full 24 hours to cure and dry and harden up. There was a little bit of squeeze out from the glue. That is perfectly fine. I was able to wipe it up right away and it cleaned up perfectly fine. Once I had all of that done, I realized I never distressed it. So I end up distressing it after the fact. You could totally wet distress. It has been a couple days at this point, and I just took some 220 grit sandpaper and I gave it a little bit of sanding, and then I seal the base up with the Rust-Oleum Clear Matte Spray, and then this piece is done. I really love how this piece was transformed, and I hope that you all like it too, and let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, this last project. I had a lot of fun with this last project. These are just old vintage kitchen utensils that my mom had and she gave them to me. I've had these cutting boards for a really long time. I made them a while ago. I'm pretty sure I have a video on how I made them. If I can find the video, I will link it in the description if you're interested. But I have had them set aside and I decided that I'm going to attach these vintage pieces to the cutting board. Now, this Dixie Belle Crackle, I have never used it before. I bought it a while ago and I've wanted to try it. And it honestly reminded me exactly of using glue to get that crackle effect. And I have used the glue method several times and I've shared it on this channel. So I will link that in the description if you are interested in seeing that method as well. I just use the Dollar Tree glue, but this crackle from Dixie Belle was awesome. I really enjoyed it and I didn't even have to apply any heat. So for this Dixie Belle crackle, as you can see, I just applied an even layer on the entire piece. I started with the top and the sides first, and once that side was done, I flipped it over and I did the back side. But with the Dixie Belle crackle, you want to let it fully dry, and it does. The thicker you apply it, the longer it takes to dry. So you do want it to be fully dry, and then you're going to apply your paint to it. Now, the same with the glue, but with the crackle, you don't want to have several strokes of, your paint up and down, or else it's going to mess up that crackle effect. So that's why I'm trying to do one, maybe two passes of paint on, above the crackle. And if you can kind of see on the top of it, it's already starting to crackle. Whatever is in this product, it makes it crackle without having to use any heat. I mean, like right here, it had already started crackling before I was finished. So this is the final product. I did let it sit for a full 24 hours before I continued to work on it. And I decided to seal it using clear wax first because I wanted to age up the paint and the crackle effect a little bit more. It was really harsh against the piece, like the kitchen utensils that I was using. But if you like it this color, then you can stop at clear wax. You can even use like a polyacrylic if you want. But I wanted to darken it up, so I am using some black wax on top of the clear wax. And I went a little heavy-handed, I will say, on the first one. This was my first one, and I went a little heavy-handed, but that's okay. So once I applied the black wax, I tried to buff it out as best as possible, and then I added some clear wax on top of it to kind of erase it even more, buff it out even more. So I did that a couple times with the clear wax until I was happy with the look of basically of how it looked. So total personal preference. You can use brown wax, you can use gray wax. I just have the black wax, and I really like how it aged this crackle up. So I did that to both of them. And then once those had dried, I am going to use two different types of like hardware to hang the items. So for this first one, I have this hook that I took off of something a really long time ago. I actually have like 4 or 5 of them and I've never used them, but I found them in my stash. And I thought that this would be perfect and so cute to clamp this like, what is it, a cheese scraper or cutter? I forget what it is. But I thought it was really sweet, and I just screwed that in. And then for the other one, because it already has a hole in the top of the juicer, I'm just going to take a screw and hold it in place. So at this point, these are pretty much done. And I went to go put them in my kitchen, and I realized how cute these, especially the one with the hook, how cute it would be to hold a recipe. So I actually have it staged both ways, with these vintage utensils, but also with the recipes. So then it sparked another idea, which I will share after these clips. So I'm going to let you see what these look like, and then I will show you what I ended up doing and how I have it staged in my home. And you guys are going to have to let me know what you guys think. Okay, how cute was that recipe on that cutting board? So when I saw that, it really sparked my next idea, and that's why I love crafting, because it's kind of ever evolving and projects sometimes aren't done on the first round. So I kept the one hook and cutting board as it was. This other one that had the juicer, I found this other like clipper in my stash, and I put that on there instead so that I could use it for a recipe or even just a picture. I have these stencils that I got from Expressions Vinyl, I believe, and I am just going to do 2 stencils on these cutting boards, and then these are done. I am going to seal the stencil with some clear wax when it is done, since the cutting boards already have wax on them. But I really hope that you guys like seeing, you know, multiple options with crafting. I mean, like I said, sometimes projects just keep evolving. And even though I loved the first one, I really love how everything turned out. And I'm going to show you how I do have the vintage cutting pieces staged in my kitchen. I really hope that you guys enjoyed all of these projects, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. I really hope you all enjoyed this video, and definitely let me know in the comments which one was your favorite item, and let me know about the last project. Would you have kept it as I originally did, or do you like it more as a like menu holder or even like a picture holder? Definitely let me know. I like them both, but I kind of like how it ended up. So I cannot wait to hear what you all think. If you did like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.